2016 Village of Peoria Heights Board of Trustees meeting. Meeting is now called to order. Would you please rise and join us in the pledge of the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Present.
Trustee Carter. Present. Trustee Mariscal.
Present.
Trustee Cumming.
Present.
Trustee Reichert. Present. Trustee Fuller.
Present. Thank you very much. First order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for January 19th, 2016. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes as submitted.
Have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Carter. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustee minutes for January 19th, 2016 as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. The board has approved the minutes for the January 19th, 2016 meeting as presented. Next order of business tonight is our correspondence, and that will be presented by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
I have no correspondence this evening.
Okay, thank you. Just a couple quick announcements. We want to express our condolences to Director Smith and his family for passing of his grandmother, and also to our zoning board director, so to speak, is Rick Pitzel, and former Mayor Ray Pitzel and the entire Pitzel family for the loss of Ray Pitzel Jr., excuse me, a good friend of mine. So we want to express condolences to all of those people. First order of trustee reports tonight. Public Works with Trustee Harn.
Thank you, Marilyn. I have nothing.
Thank you. We'll move to Administration Personnel with Trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing this evening.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Economic Development Village Improvements with Trustee Carter.
I have nothing, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move to the Police Department with Trustee Fuller.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. The only thing we have is Neighborhood Watch is Monday the 29th up here at Village Hall, 6:30 p.m.
All right, that's it? Okay, any questions at all for Trustee Fuller? Okay, thank you again. We'll move to Village Hall Building Maintenance with Trustee Mariscal.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing to report this evening.
All right, thank you. And we'll close with the Fire Department with Trustee Reichert.
Thank you, Mayor, I have nothing.
All right, thank you, everyone. Comments from the audience? If anybody in the audience has a care, concern, or a question? No? You from the high school?
We're from Methodist College. We're doing a policy class.
Okay, well, you two look as young, but you're back in the high school back there? Okay. I was warned about you coming tonight by my wife, so, okay. We're trying to keep this short and sweet for everyone.
Yeah, that sounds ominous.
But we do thank you all for attending. Appreciate it. No old business tonight, so we'll move to new business. And first up is Ordinance 2016-1460, which will be presented by Trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I make a motion that we approve Ordinance 2016-1460. And what this ordinance is, this is an ordinance that allows us to continue discovery for and propose the establishment of a special service area that is related to the Trefskers development. And what this will allow is this allows us the opportunity to have a public meeting on April 5th at 6 o'clock. Give the public a chance to come in and hear what the special service area is about and what it would mean to the village. And as we know on the board, that the special service area is a way for the village to protect ourselves in case the Trefskers deal numbers don't come in where we believe that they will, and there is a shortfall in our the TIF monies that we've received that we can use to pay our bond on an annual basis. And this allows us to have Trefskers foot the bill for any difference between the TIF monies that we've collected towards the bond payment and any amounts that might be short. We can collect up to $180,000 a year. I don't think we'll get to that point, but that's just the threshold that's been set.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Carter. Are there any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
So will we vote on this again after the meeting, or is this?
Well, this is voting with allowing us to proceed forward with the discovery process and have the public meeting, and then we would end up voting on this on April 19th.
Sort of the beginning process.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we're laying the foundation, so to speak. Laying the foundation for the process of the implementation of the potential project. Yeah.
In other words, good government work.
Exactly. Right, so that would be on the 5th, and then we would vote on it on the 19th. You know, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
April?
April,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, any other questions at all from the board? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of ordinance 2016-1460 as outlined by Trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Aye.
Trustee Carter.
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal.
Aye.
Trustee Cumming.
Aye.
Trustee Reichert.
Aye.
Trustee Fuller.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved ordinance 2016-1460 as outlined by Trustee Cumming. Next order of new business tonight is ordinance 2016-1461, and that will be presented by Trustee Cumming as well.
Thank you again, Mayor Allen. I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2016-1461. And once again, the same as with the SSA Special Service Area, this is an ordinance to continue along with the process of discovering whether a business development district would be in the village's best interest and to get public feedback. There would be a public meeting on April 5th at 5:30. SSA is going to be at 6. The BDD, Business Development District, would be at 5:30. And if we do continue with this, what this will do will allow us to create a district with boundaries that we would have the ability to rough in possibly an additional sales tax amount that would help fund curb and sidewalk programs. It's the same thing that they did at the Westlake Shopping Center to get the funds to redo the parking lot there and spruce up the landscaping. And so once again, that public meeting would be April 5th at 5:30. And once again, we would vote on that as long as everything goes well with the public meeting on the meeting on April 19th. And if this is approved on the 19th, then we would have to define the boundaries of this business development district and get a map put in place by April 26th, and that's when this business development district would become effective then.
I think someone needs to make a motion to amend.
Yeah, the times for the
Yeah,
meetings.
because it says 6:30, and I don't know if we
Yeah,
have
Matt,
to hold that.
Administrator Fick and I discussed that, did catch that those meeting times were put in place by Jacobs and Klein. I don't think
Okay.
they realized that we had a regularly scheduled board meeting for 6:30.
Well, because this is an ordinance, I think somebody should. Don't we need to do an amendment?
Yeah, before we vote on this, then.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a motion to amend that time?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to amend the time from 6:30 to, was that on the first one or the second one?
5:30. The other
Okay.
one's
Yeah, from 6:30 to 5:30, and that would be for the Business Development District open meeting.
Okay.
Would occur at 5:30, not 6:30.
Okay, I have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
And this is on the amendment, right?
On the amendment, correct. Once again, this is for board approval of the amendment to the ordinance that changes the time from 6:30 to 5:30, and that's for ordinance 2016-1461. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll?
Trustee Harn.
Aye.
Trustee Carter.
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal.
Aye.
Trustee Cumming.
Aye.
Trustee Reichert.
Aye.
Trustee Fuller.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the amendment as outlined by Trustee Cumming to change the time from 6:30 to 5:30 for the meeting regarding ordinance 2016-1461. Hearing that, then we can go to the actual vote on the ordinance 2016-1461. We have a motion from trustee Cumming, second from trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
Quick question, so we have the meeting, the public meeting the 19th, and then we adopted?
No, both public meetings are on the 5th. And we will vote on both ordinances on the 19th. And then the business development district, the boundaries have to be defined and a map put in place by the 26th, April 26th, and that's when it would become effective if it passes.
Okay.
The only other thing I'd add to that is that the way that if you recall, when we increased our home rule sales tax, we had to wait till the beginning of the year. There's only 2 times a year that you can do that. So we can file this ordinance with the state, but it would be January 1 when the new tax increase would go into effect.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, any other questions from the board? All right, once again, this is for board approval of ordinance 2016-1461 with the amendment as outlined and presented by trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter? Aye. Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved ordinance 2016-1461 as outlined by trustee Cumming. Next order of new business tonight is motion to consider adoption of the Peoria County Animal Control Ordinance, and that will be presented by trustee Cumming.
Thank you once again, Mayor Allen. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the Peoria County Animal Control Ordinance. And the reason why this is a housekeeping move more than anything else, because our current ordinance codes related to animal control are not on a level footing with what the county has. So if a situation somehow ends up in county court, it's just very confusing because our fees are different than what the county has, and this will bring us up to speed, and our verbiage of our ordinance will match what the county has in place.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. And also, we will have a village clerk will make available a copy of the county animal control code for no less than 30 days for public inspection. So if you really like to look at animal control ordinances, this is right up your alley, and we'll give you 30 days to enjoy it.
Okay, and trustee Cumming already made a motion for the consideration. We need a second, please.
Second.
Second from trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? All right, once again, this is for board approval of the motion to consider adoption of the Peoria County Animal Control Ordinance, bless you, as presented by trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the consideration of the adoption of the Peoria County Animal Control Ordinance as presented by trustee Cumming. Our next order of new business tonight is the motion to consider adoption of Peoria County Subdivision Code, which will be presented by trustee Cumming.
Thank you again, Mayor Allen. One last motion to make tonight, and that would be to consider the adoption of the Peoria County Subdivision Code. And really what this is, we already follow the county's codes as it relates to the subdivision of plats, but we don't have anything written. It's just always been kind of a verbal agreement, and our attorney suggested, hey, you guys need to get something down in writing and make this official that we're following the county's codes. And so that's what we're doing here. And once again, if you really like animal control ordinances and you have 30 days to allow for public inspection, with the subdivision code, unfortunately the window's not as wide as we will make that available for public inspection for no less than 15 days.
All right. Have a motion from trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from trustee Harn. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? All right, once again, this is for board approval of the consideration of the adoption of the Peoria County Subdivision Code as outlined by trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariska?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the consideration of the adoption of the Peoria County subdivision code as outlined by Trustee Cumming. Our final order of new business tonight is the approval for the use of Village Hall for the St. Jude 5K run, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you. Looks like Shazam Racing is going to have a 5K walk Saturday, February 13th. So I make a motion, he wants to use the village building for part of the setup, and I make a motion to allow him.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Carter.
Second.
Second from Trustee Mariscal. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
That is potentially going to be a very cold 5K.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, it's kind of early, but, oh well.
Maybe, it might be 50 out that weekend.
Yeah, that's true. It might be 70, you never know. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, once again, this is for approval of the use of Village Hall for the St. Jude 5K walk on Saturday, February 13th, as outlined by Trustee Carter. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariska?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved the use of Village Hall on Saturday, February 13th, 2016 for the St. Jude 5K walk as outlined by Trustee Carter. Next order of business tonight is the payment of the bills, and those will be read by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
All right, this represents the bills as approved at the departmental committee on January 26, 2016. General fund expenditures are $267,481.92. MFT is $803.93 for total village expenditures of $268,285.85. Waterworks expenditures were $78,919.04 for total bills of $347,204.89.
All right. Are there any questions regarding the bills as read?
I move that we pay the bills as submitted.
Have a motion from Trustee Cumming,
Second.
second from Trustee Carter. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariska?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
All right, thank you. By a vote of 6-0, the board has approved to pay the bills as read. Our next departmental committee meeting will be held Tuesday, February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. And the next Board of Trustees meeting will be held Tuesday, February 16th at 6:30 p.m. Is there any other business to come before the board this evening?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion from Trustee Cumming and a second.
Second.
Second from Trustee Fuller. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting at this time, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Meeting is now adjourned. We thank everyone for attending and have a good night.